Dan here, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to 2020. So I haven't posted for a while, but I thought I'd give you a little update of what I've been up to at the tail end of last year and what's coming in 2020. So last year I did a mix of rides, a little bit on the mountain bike, a little bit on the road bike. So I did a trip to Morocco, which I posted a short video on. That was a really amazing experience with Freeride Morocco, where I rode some pretty cool cross-country stuff. Not a huge amount in terms of technical riding, but in terms of the atmosphere and the cultural experience and staying in the mountain huts and the refuges, it was just incredible. And I urge everyone to try and do a trip like that, just to open your eyes a bit to the world. After that, I did some hiking. Some of these videos are on my channel, so you can check them out. And towards the tail end of the year, I did a round the island overnight on the Isle of Wight, and that was on my Pinnacle Arcos, and bikepacking with a lightweight tent. I filmed a short video of that, which I put on my Instagram feed, because there wasn't a huge amount to kind of show in terms of a big video. It was just a few clips here and there. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you can do. That's dk.ny. I'll put a link in the description at the bottom, and you can catch up on that trip and some of the photos. After that, I also did a trip with a few of my friends where we did a mountain bike tour down in Exmoor. We took a rucksack full of clothes and we stayed in hotels for a couple of days and did some quite nice riding. Again, not much footage of that, so there wasn't really much to turn into a video. So where to start for 2020? Well, I guess the first thing to really tell you is what's been going on with the bikes. So I'll start with the Calibre Boss Nut, because I think a lot of my sort of followers follow me because of that bike and found the channel because of that bike. So still got it. It's still as it was. I can't remember whether I told you that I put a dropper post on, but I did that prior to going to Morocco, and that was a proper remote lever, and that's working great. Haven't really ridden the bike much since getting back from Morocco, because I just haven't been on those kind of trips where I needed it. You know, there aren't a great deal of mountain bike downhill trails around here, so it's more cross country. So I've been riding the Stooge, but I've still got the Boss Nut. It's still my go-to bike, and in terms of, you know, proper hardcore mountain biking. And I'll tell you a bit more in a little while about a trip that's coming up this year where the Boss Nut will get used a lot. So I've also still got the Stooge. That is the Mark III in purple that I featured in a video as well. That bike's had a couple of minor changes. So I've put a carbon fork on, and that meant that I had to put a boost adapter on the front wheel as well. So that's running really nice, and it's really lightened up the front end. I've got the lever dropper post that I used to have on my Boss Nut on that bike now, and I've changed the saddle out as well. I've been riding that bike loads on and off since last summer, because it's just good for the cross-country trails that I've got around by my house. I took it on the bike packing trip with the guys down in Exmoor as well, and it was perfect for those sort of cross-country routes. I'll be doing a bit more on that this year as well. So the other bikes I've got, so I've got my Scott Scale road bike, Scott Addict road bike. Not been using that much at all. That is packed up in the loft, and I don't really expect to be using that much this year. Only probably towards the end of the year, where I've got a duathlon that I'm doing, so I'll bring it out for that, and that'll do the road part of the riding, and then, you know, I'll be doing the 5k runs at either end of that as well. So I've been running a little bit over winter, actually, just trying to keep up with fitness, and I'm really impressed with how I've been getting on. I've gone from a 28-minute 5k down to a 22.5-minute 5k in the space of a few months. So I think my fitness is kind of getting there. So anyway, back to the bikes. So the Pinnacle Arcos is gone. Great bike, really enjoy it, but I felt it was a little bit too heavy for what I was using it for, and I wanted something that's a carbon frame. So I'm going to do a full feature on this in another video, but I picked up a On-One Space Chicken towards the tail end of the summer last year, and I've already done maybe 1,500 miles on that over the space of the winter. I'm using that for commuting to and from work, and it is a really great bike. I'm going to do a full feature on that and show you exactly the parts that I spec'd on it, and talk a little bit about that bike as well. I've also picked up a jump bike. So I'm a big fan of Calibre, as you know, big fan of the Boss Nut, and I think this year I really want to improve my skills and just my basic street riding, and just have a bit of fun. If I've been out for a long ride in the day and I just want to muck about, then I just want something that I can just muck about, learn to jump on. So I've picked up a Calibre Astronaut, just around about sort of October, November time last year. And what I plan to do is show you again that in another separate video, so I can talk a bit about that bike, why I bought it, and the changes that I made to it from standard as well. So that's coming up. I've also bought a watt bike. The weather here has been rubbish. We're now in sort of end of January, and we've had a pretty poor winter in terms of wind and rain so far, which meant that I wasn't getting out, and I felt that my fitness was suffering because of it. So I bought a watt bike, the Watt Bike Atom. It is a great bit of kit. I'm using that with a laptop and the Zwift app to try and keep up on my fitness over winter. And I actually feel that my strength on the bike has really improved, and especially my climbing. I've entered a couple of races on there and I've done okay, and it's really good. Again, I'll do another video about that, so I can talk about that bike and the things that it's good for, and the stuff I like, and the stuff that is a little bit niggly. So that's it in terms of bikes. A fair bit of change, but you know, I'm lucky enough that I've managed to buy and sell a few bits, and I've done okay. So let's talk about trips for this year. So I've got a few trips already lined up, and I'm sure more will come as the year goes on. So the first one I've got coming up is a trip with the Astronaut, and that is heading up to Manchester in a couple of weeks to go to Dirt Factory. So for anyone that doesn't know, Dirt Factory is an indoor bike park that's been set up in Manchester city centre. It's an old warehouse where they've put in a load of dirt jumps, they've put in an airbag, some ramps, and so I figured while the weather is a bit rubbish, I might as well go up there and take the Astronaut up there and have a go and see how I get on. I've also got a road touring trip lined up for March, and that is going to Malaga in Spain with a friend of mine. We're going to fly into Malaga, leave the bike bags near the airport, and then we're doing a 7-day tour across the mountains, down to the coast, and then back up from the coast, back up to Malaga. That's going to be a really nice, relaxing break. A lot of mileage, but in terms of just getting away from everything, spending the whole day riding bikes, checking into a hotel whenever we feel like it on the day, and just get some good old sort of touring in, and just have a nice time in some warmer weather. After that, I've also got a trip to the Alps. So this is a bigger trip in the summer, so this is going to be a week, and I'm taking the Boss Nut for this one. So we're going to stay as a family in Morzine. First time I've been to Morzine, so I'm really excited to see what it's about. I've been to a few other places in the Alps, but Morzine's got a bit of a following, so I'm really excited about going there, getting a lift pass for the week, and trying some different trails and crossing into different areas and bike parks, and just having a good time really. I've also got a road trip lined up with a couple of guys where we'll be going down and doing another tour of the Isle of Wight, and we've also got a trip in June as well where we're spending a long weekend in France, and we'll be taking the sort of road bikes to that. So I'll be taking my On One Space Chicken for that one, and that's another sort of 3 or 4 day tour around northern France. So that's it for so far this year. That's what I've lined up. I'm looking forward to spending some more time doing sort of gravel riding, and I don't know whether that will be on the Stooge or on the Space Chicken, but I'd really like to do the sleeper train up to Scotland, and I've got a route planned out where I want to go from Inverness down to Glasgow over the space of 2, 3, 4 days, and then get the train back from Glasgow. So I'm really looking forward to this year. I think it's going to be really good, and a bit of a mixture between some mountain biking, some gravel riding, some road biking, working on my skills on the jump bike. I'm really excited about that, just getting out a bit more when the weather gets a bit nicer and a bit warmer, and just working on things that I need to get better as a biker. I want to learn to wheelie properly. I want to learn to manual. Last year's resolution was to manual, and I never quite got there. So this year, that is my mission, to be able to learn to manual by the end of the year. I'm going to try and build myself a manual machine where you get all the wood and you can build it, and I'm going to feature that in the video as well, and just see if that kind of device will actually help me learn to manual out on the street and see the effects that has on my riding. So it's going to be an exciting year. I'm going to try and post more videos. They're not going to be weekly. I think that was a bit too far suggesting that I was going to do that last year, but I think they'll be as frequently as I can. So you're going to see more trip reports, you're going to see more bike reports, and you're going to see more product reviews. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog update. Sorry it's been a long time coming. If there's any questions that you want to ask me, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I'll come back to you as soon as I can. And if you've got any ideas for things you want to see, or you want updates on the bikes or anything else, then again, drop me a line and I'll try and accommodate you as best I can. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so, and like this video and give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.